Hey friends, welcome back to Acre Homestead. Today I'm here at my mom's house. This is my mom, Susan. Say
hi there. Pleased to meet you.
It's about 7:20 right now and we're going to head to the grocery store because we've got a huge party that we're going to be planning for on the 4th of July. We're going to be doing 4th of July, 2 birthdays, a graduation, and I think that's it, which is probably plenty of things. There's going to be about 15 people. You guys ask all the time, did I learn all these things from my mom? Now, my mom is super organized and a great cook, but she doesn't do all like the canning and all those.
Not too much.
No, and all those types of things. I did learn my organizational skills from her, and I learned my confidence in the kitchen from her because she just let us do whatever we wanted in the kitchen. So I thought it'd be fun to show you guys how my mom can stay super organized and plan for a party of 15 and go camping 2 days later. So just join us as we go grocery shopping. And then when we get back, I'm gonna break down the menu that we're gonna be making, and I'm gonna show you the forms that my mom made up to follow when she does this. So you guys can take these tools and use them if you'd like. So we're gonna be heading to Costco and Winco. I didn't mention that earlier. Well, our day just got really exciting. We just saw this cute little guy.
And he's been running for a long time. His head's all full of mats and burrs, and he hasn't had a bath or a brushing in a very long time.
So we picked him up because he was running down a very busy road. It's a 5-lane, it's not a highway, but it's a 5-lane road. And I always will stop and rescue a dog because you guys know my dogs like to get out, and people have stopped and got my dogs. And so this is just something you got to do.
I never hurted a dog with my car.
Yeah. There was 2 strangers and me and my mom. My mom was in her car.
Ladies, yeah.
Yes, and we were like chasing the dog, and
his little heart's beating so hard. He's scared to death. Oh, I don't know. We haven't really looked.
And there's no collar, so we're gonna run back to my mom's house and put the dog in the bathroom and maybe give him some water. I think my mom has some dog food. My mom doesn't have a dog, but we bring our dogs to her house all the time. So we will, I'll see you back when we get to the grocery store. So a couple tricks that my mom always does when she goes grocery shopping, and she's done this forever, is she always parks her cart close to the cart return, so it's super easy to return her cart. And then
especially if you have kids.
Yes, and then she likes to park on the exit. If there's an entrance and exit to a grocery store, which Winco does have that, she'll park toward the exit. So we're shopping for 2 things. We're shopping 1 for the party and 2 for the camp out. And let me show you my mom's amazing grocery list, which I'm gonna link this down in the description box below if you're interested. So the red is for what I'm gonna be shopping for, which is what? The camp out?
Yes.
And then my mom is gonna shop for the party, which is in black. So the way my mom has made her grocery list ever since I was little is she's organized it by category and how you walk through the grocery store. So you walk through the produce first, and then you go through the dairy and the deli and bulk items and things like that. So it makes it, when you're planning your grocery list, super easy just to check the box as opposed to having to write it out. And it also jogs your memory when you're trying to grocery shop of things you might need. And here's the list of what we're gonna do today. The stuff that's crossed out has already been done, and I have 1 cart and my mom has another cart. And we're gonna conquer this together and get it done pretty quick because we got...
Let me tell you something about this grocery list. I don't do it electronically because if it's on my phone, nobody else can add to it. Mm-hmm. When I was raising my kids and they were cooking and they used the last of something, it hung on the wall back when phones were on the wall. It hung on the wall next to the phone, and they could check off, oh, I used all the eggs, or I'm planning to make such and such and I need this. Or we had a lot of teenagers living with us off and on, and maybe they were out of shampoo or whatever. But it was so everybody could see it, and I would make an announcement, I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow, please mark what you need.
So this is one thing, my mom always let us cook. Basically the kitchen was open whenever we wanted. And so my sisters and I would a lot of times, or just I would want to make something new. By having this grocery list always available, I could always mark down anything I needed for a particular recipe. And then when I wanted to go to cook it, we had the things we needed. One of the awesome things about Winco is they have this massive bulk food section, and you can actually order 25-pound bags, 50-pound bags of things from them if you want, and you get a really good price. So at Winco, you have to bag your own groceries. So my mom always puts all the refrigerated and freezer stuff together. so that she can bag them up into a refrigerator bag because we're going to be heading to Costco next, and then we don't have to worry about them not staying cold. So we got all the groceries bagged up. We tried to make sure that we kept the camping stuff in a certain kind of bag and the party stuff in another bag so that when we get home, we even can keep them organized and separate. And now we're off to Costco.
It's my famous boneless, skinless, tasteless chicken breasts, but they're not going to be tasteless. We're going to do them up fancy on the barbecue on the camp out.
We're done at Costco, and now we're gonna go head home and we're gonna unload all this stuff and we'll show you what we got. We also are really curious to see how this dog is doing. My dad was on the floor like talking to the dog and petting the dog, which was pretty shocking to me.
On his hands and knees,
Yeah,
the man who says no more pets.
So my mom is making comments and she's like, I hope he doesn't want this dog if we can't find its owners, which is ultimately the goal. So what we've done is we've set up a card table here because all the food that's going to be going camping we put on the card table and in the fridge. My mom is right here putting the cold stuff in the fridge. By keeping the groceries separate, we knew exactly what needed to stay out here and what needed to go inside. So I'm just setting up for the grocery haul here, and my dad comes in with this bowl of potatoes he just harvested. They have a little garden that's super cute, and look at all this. So I'm gonna go through all the things we bought for the party, and I'm gonna talk through what the menu for this dinner is gonna be as I go through the grocery haul, and then we'll sit down and I'm gonna have my mom go over the steps that she does anytime she has a big party, because she's really good about keeping things super organized and listed out, so she knows exactly what she needs to do in order to have a party to go seamlessly. So the menu is gonna be brisket. This is a brisket from the cow that I bought. I always buy half a cow at a time, and if you wanna watch a video on that, I have one right here. This, I think, is the third year in a row because we're celebrating my birthday on the 4th of July. It's not the 4th of July, but we're just celebrating it on that day. And when I order half of a cow, my husband and I can't eat an entire brisket at a time. So generally what I've been doing is I bring the brisket over, and my mom, she's got a Traeger and she'll smoke it up. It's a great way for me to be able to contribute to the party and bring something that's important to me, is eating local beef whenever possible. And so we all get to share this one huge brisket, and there's actually two in here because my father-in-law just downsized and he didn't have room in his current freezer for the brisket because he does buy half a cow at a time. So he gifted me that brisket. So I actually have two briskets, which is gonna be more than enough for the party. Then we're gonna have some fruit and Caesar salad. My mom makes a fantastic Caesar salad, so we're gonna have that. We are gonna have macaroni and cheese as a side. We're gonna use the macaroni and cheese recipe that is on my blog, scratchpantry.com. The link for that will be listed down below. And so for that recipe, we needed the noodles and some cheese. And then for dessert, we're actually gonna be having over there are some cookies my mom made last night. We're gonna have ice cream sandwiches. Cake is not my favorite, and so one year she surprised me with ice cream sandwiches for my birthday, and now every year that's what I want. And so we are gonna be making another batch of those in a little bit because we're gonna film a whole video on her ice cream sandwich recipe, which is so good. And so we needed some more flour, sugar, white sugar, and brown sugar, just some croutons for the Caesar salad. My recipe for that macaroni and cheese calls for broccoli because it's more of like a main dish thing, but I think we're gonna leave this out because we're gonna have it as a side dish. And then the other thing we're gonna have are baked beans. So my mom got some red beans, black beans, and white beans, and I think this is a new recipe. So my mom and I today are actually gonna prep all this food for the party, and that's gonna be its own separate video. For now, let's go ahead and sit down. Mom, are you ready? And let's go through she's got this list, and we're gonna go through it with you guys. This is a little guideline that my mom put together, Happy Hassle-Free Hosting, and I'm gonna have her kind of go through it with you.
I created this list because some young moms came to me and wanted to know how to do a holiday meal, like it's their first Thanksgiving. They've never done a Thanksgiving. This is what helps me have a hassle-free holiday or party, whatever the occasion might be. Set a date and time, create the invitation template, have your guest list of who's invited, and then have an RSVP date so you know how many. And I like to note whether I need high chairs or wheelchair access, because a lot of people we entertain need both high chairs or wheelchair access. So once I've created my template with my date and my invitation and my guest list, then I want to make sure to send that out and ask for an RSVP, because I need to know ultimately how many I'm doing the party for, and I need to know that about a week before, because it takes me about a week to do a party. The next thing is to develop a menu. Our holiday menus are generally the same, maybe a little bit of modification. For our family birthday parties, about once a month, it's somebody's birthday or it's a holiday, so we try to get everybody together once a month. My kids and my in-law kids and my grandkids, they get to pick the dinner and the dessert. So this time Becky wants ice cream sandwiches, but her husband really likes yellow cake with chocolate frosting.
Are you making that for him?
I can.
Oh, because it's my husband's graduation.
I know.
Due.
Well, I know but I have 4 things, and there's like way too many desserts.
Yeah, no, we don't need. I just was wondering, maybe you decided to make that too.
Once I've created a menu, the next thing is to make my grocery list. When I have my menu, I can decide what I already have in my pantry and what I need to purchase, whether I need to get it at Winco, Costco, cash and carry, a butcher, farmer's market. I can make that all on one piece of paper so that I have one to carry with me. And I prefer a paper because if I set it down, it's not my phone that I left in the grocery cart. Having a timeline really helps me get the party done on time and not be running around like a chicken with my head cut off when guests are arriving. One of my very favorite things to do is to have people in my home and to feed them and entertain them. But I like to participate as well. I personally like to have 30 minutes to an hour to myself when I'm done to take a shower and get freshened up before the company starts arriving. So that means I have to plan out how to get it all done for that drop dead time before my guests arrive. If I'm gonna serve dinner at 5, which I put on the invitation, I'll say, come over anytime after 2 o'clock, dinner's served at 5. Well, that means I really wanna be done with everything 12:30, 1 o'clock, so that I'm ready when guests arrive. So that means the tables are set, all the sides are prepped, all I have to do is the last minute cooking. So having a timeline really helps. The things to include in my timeline are the shopping. I can't shop on the same day as the party. Today we shopped and the party is in 2 days. I have housework to do. I have to clean. I can't do that on the day of the party generally. Sometimes there's decorating if it's a holiday or a birthday party. And then obviously there's the food prep. And if you don't get the turkey out of the oven in time, that doesn't work. Excuse me. If you don't get the turkey out of the freezer, if you don't get it out of the oven in time, it's jerky. It's turkey jerky.
That's right.
And I like to have my tables set the day before, if possible. Many hospitality events include additional activities. Christmas, there's presents. Easter, there's egg hunts. There's a lot of extra activities. I just have to have it on a timeline so that when the company comes, I can be relaxed and enjoy my friends and family.
You guys ask a lot if I learned all my cooking skills from my mom, and I learned a ton of cooking skills from my mom, but I think the best thing that my mom did for me growing up is she allowed me to be in the kitchen whenever I want. I remember not being tall enough to stand at the stove, and I would pull the chair over and I would cook things on the stove. My mom never had rules about knives. The kitchen was never off limits. I was allowed to be in there and try new recipes. I would pull a chair up to the mixer and make cookies whenever I wanted. I think that was honestly the biggest benefit for me to learn, and just always wanting to be in the kitchen and trying something new. So we might not necessarily can and garden and do all the same things, but definitely I was able to get a lot of really good foundational cooking skills from her, and also to be in the kitchen and have confidence to try new things. And if it failed, oh well, and if it was awesome, great. And so I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing how my mom thinks through a party and how she organizes it. I will link my mom's grocery list and happy hassle-free hosting document in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. And so if you guys are interested in this, please go ahead and subscribe. I was thinking, let me know if you'd be interested. My mom does a really good job at Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I was thinking that I would go ahead and film the whole process, how she does Christmas and Thanksgiving, because we have pretty big parties. Now, obviously last year we didn't, but hopefully coming up we will be able to go back to kind of more normal. If you guys got any value out of this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing how we cook all this food, because the next video I'm going to be making is we're going to prep all this food, and we're going to be making some more ice cream sandwiches, and I'm going to show you guys that in a video as well. So if you want to see that, go ahead and subscribe. If you guys are new and you want to watch more of my videos, a couple will pop up here. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.